And welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another special episode of Some of Y'all's Podcast. This week, we got a special guest. We have Rock. Of
Yes,
course, we
sir.
have, the one and
Yes,
only
sir.
Copy, that's me. And my co-host, Royal, who's actually Royal today because he's wearing his direct.
Yeah. Had to change it up. Got a great camera on right now. You can see it.
Man, it took you about 5 weeks, man.
Look, I told you, it's a delay on everything. Everything is backed up right now. Come on now.
Nigga, you supposed to have like 30 do-rags.
I'm gonna have some more next week. I'm gonna have a different color next week. You gonna see.
All right, I better see the 4th of July edition.
I had it. That's what it works.
All right, man. All right, how's everybody feeling, man? How's everybody feeling emotionally, mentally, physically? How's everything going? We'll pass it to Rock.
Man, I'm feeling good. I'm on vacation right now. Out in LA, so it's always just good to be in this West Coast weather. Mentally, I'm good. Like my head's in a great space. I've been working all year, so I got some freedom to just get away and relax, and everything is going good.
Right? How you feeling, Roy?
I'm feeling good. Feeling great. In a great headspace. Feeling happy about life.
Happy Father's Day.
I ain't no father, bro. Let's get out of there. I ain't no father. Just I give the throat babies. I'm make them no daddy. Let's get that right.
Hey, it counts.
That don't count.
Hey, before we started recording, we was having this discussion about like, hey, if you give a throat babies all year round, that makes you the baby father, right? That makes you a father, right?
That's funny.
That's a crazy way to look at it, but no, that does not count. No, it don't count, brother. No, it don't count. But no, I'm feeling good. In a positive headspace, and being great. How you feeling today?
Feeling blessed. Holy favorite. The usual. Of course, we just out here working, grinding, taking things one day at a time. We still in the pandemic. Just trying to stay mentally right, spiritually right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. So, Rock, could you introduce yourself to the public right now?
Yeah, so I'm Rock the Mic. You hear the next, I go by Rock. I do a podcast, just like these gentlemen right here.
Can we get the name?
Yeah, it's Properly Uncivilized podcast. I'm also a teacher, working in Baltimore City, and I came here to talk with the guys today. Kick some shit.
Yes, sir. The link will be in the description. The link will be in the video description for his podcast.
You said what?
The link for your podcast will be in the video description of this video.
Oh, all right, cool. Appreciate that.
No problem. We got cross promote over here. Cross promote. Yeah. So, Rock, since you are a teacher, what has it been like this past year in the Baltimore City school system?
Baltimore City school system is probably like a lot of school systems. Around the world, it's been in a pandemic, so it's been very limited. I think just in April is when students started to really come into the building, full throttle, but not necessarily full throttle where they had the option to.
Okay.
So the school system was definitely just giving students the option. After the CDC said that everything is able to go, and they had the option to come into the building on a hybrid schedule, or they had the option to just stay home and just ride it out. So you had a lot of students who definitely took advantage of that in-person learning and being able to just get that one-on-one from your teacher. I mean, because I had classes of like 3, 2, okay. Whereas I have 30 to 35 students in a class.
Yeah.
I mean, it's pretty telling what's going on.
Yeah.
But then you probably got some students who finessing the system, right? saying, yeah, I'm going to take those hybrid days and don't even go to school.
Shit, they like, I'm off. That's my off day right there.
Yeah, that's my mental day. Like, I need my mental health day, right? Like, but yeah, and then and then like I said, you got the ones that stay home, and the ones who stay home, they're pretty polished. You know what I mean? They can do this from home. They're pretty disciplined. They can really make this happen. And then you got some who are just, opting to stay home and they aren't polished and they playing the video games all day and just logging in, they got a timer. That's all they got is a timer.
Yeah, look. 2 minutes, I'm in here. I'm in the class. I'm gone.
Yup, and I'm back on the game. Yeah, yo, I just logged in. Yeah, what's up, y'all? I'm back.
Like, yeah, I'm in here. I'm in the class. Yeah, I'm here. I'm present. Then they go.
Yeah, I'm present. They participate in like they got it down pat. Like I'm like, yo, he was here for 10 minutes. I'm done my whole spill, my whole 10-minute spill. Like, where he at now? I'm like, yo, what's up? Hey, Dante, what's up? And tapping the screen, like, yo, what's up? Where you at? They finesse it. Listen, man, they just like us when we was younger. We was trying to find ways to make it happen, right?
Yeah. That's right.
But it's just a beautiful thing, man. Just seeing how we was able to still educate, the youth, while all of this is going on, and it was pretty effective, nonetheless. I mean, I was still able to build connections with my students who I've never seen before. So, nice. I mean, that was pretty new to me. Whereas like, last year, this happened like in the middle, almost toward the end of the school year. Yeah. So the students that I ended up transitioning like to doing online learning with, I knew who they were. And it was just like, I knew if you wasn't paying, I knew you wasn't paying attention. You know what I mean? Based on who you were versus starting the whole year out, online. It's like, all right, I don't know none of y'all. I don't even know how I'm gonna connect with y'all. And I'm pretty much a people person. I can connect with anybody, but it's like, man, this ain't my thing. Really, just I talk to people on Twitter or I comment with people on Instagram, but I never thought of connecting with somebody, a whole bunch of little somebodies every day. It was just something that was scary in the beginning, but I mean, we made it through the whole school year. So, I mean, that's what matters most.
Nice.
What was your stress level as far as doing the hybrid system?
Stress level, I'd probably say it was almost from a 1 to 10. It was almost a 10. I would probably say up there like an 8. Most of it is because, like I said, you got these little class sizes where it's like, man.
Was it hard to get
couldn't stay home, huh?
Was it hard to get the kids' attention?
Was it hard to get their attention?
Yeah, full attention.
You mean like online?
Yeah.
Oh yeah. It's hard. It was kind of easy for me because, like, I mean, I do this right here, right? So I'm engaging, with a medium. Whereas I have to speak and I have to capture my audience, and that's what they actually become. So, I mean, they actually help me do what I'm able to do as it relates to podcasting, because it's like, man, if I'm going to be doing this with them every day and I'm sitting here trying to figure out ways to get them engaged and, they're not even being really docked as like, an audience number or, you know what I mean? But it's like, some of them enjoy it. Some of them literally enjoy just coming to class and literally do nothing at all. They engage sometimes, but when it comes to like work, they don't do it. They don't do it because they feel like coming and listening to me is enough. It's like a workshop for them every day.
Like it's a lecture every day. That's it.
Yeah, it's like we get to see him every day. So this is what we look forward to in the classroom. So we get it. And we good with that, and we gonna get an A. It is like, no, you're not. But thank you. I ain't gonna fail you though.
Like, that's that easy A right there. Like, nah, yeah. You get a C-. There you go.
They get a loyalty grade. You know what I mean? But outside of that, it's like, do some work, man. Like, do some work.
Speaking of work, how do you feel about basically this whole year not reading anything? They pass everybody. It don't matter if you fail or you pass, you pass.
So listen, man, you can't do that.
That's what Baltimore City school system doing. That's no child left behind. If you fail or pass, you pass it.
So that's what it is, right? Even when we both was in Baltimore City School public.
We all was in Baltimore,
and and like they find a different way to say it. They find a different name for it every year. Like it used to be No Child Left Behind. Like you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Now it's like they like fuck it. Ain't nobody failing. Like it's
like I remember,
it's like
it's crazy. I remember when I graduated, people that failed sing again graduated because they're like, we don't want to see your ass no more. They're like, get up out of here. We don't want to see you.
So now what's happening is like, you know, they auditing, they checking stuff now, man. And it's like
they are, but they
getting tight with it. I mean, I heard like I honestly don't keep too much up to date with local news until it really has to really touch the surface. Like, you know, like you hear about all of the fights that happen at our school and they hit the news, and then like people text my phone or it get to Facebook and my mother hitting my phone, and I'm like, hey, what's up, man? What you talking about? She like, is you good? I'm like, yeah, man. But like, you know, like they talking about how stupid we are in the news.
No,
like
you see the guy that got like
the test scores are and shit like that.
The guy that made it to sing again with like a 0.3 GPA was about to graduate. Like, no, you go to ninth grade. I'm like, how do you go through school that? How do you go through school that long and you making a sing again? They're like, well, you can't graduate. I'm like, nobody caught that? Nobody caught that?
Right.
Yo, it's really, you know, I mean, I'm not really gonna disclose how we, you know, enter information or how we do that, but
yeah, no, nobody about that.
Outside of that, it's really they're not really passing. You know what I mean? It's like, yeah, you're just not gonna be left. But what they're doing, I see this in a lot of schools too. I mean, I've also worked in the school system in Delaware, so
okay.
I've seen a student on my list that said 11th grade, but then like my niece who's 5 is well more educated than this student. You know what I mean? And it's like, wait, what?
They don't care. They fall.
And it's like, and then I think about our generation, and I'm pretty sure like before us, when our parents was probably in school, they probably had a whole nother name for it. Yeah. But it's literally the push through method. It's just push them through. Yep. We don't want to tolerate them no more. We've already made enough off of them. We can't, you know, legally we can't make more money off of them.
They're gonna say they are going to be what they're going to be.
Push them through. So it's nasty. It's nasty.
I think that's crazy as hell. The one thing I don't get is how will people get admitted to colleges when they couldn't take the SAT or the ACT the last year?
Yeah, how the students transition into college?
Well, see, I mean, again, I'm a teacher, so I don't work with college bound, but I'm just telling you how I think it goes just based off of how, you know, just me working in education.
Yeah.
Right. There's probably like other school systems that are proving different. And whereas statistically, when we do the No Child Left Behind concept, what's happening is statistically students that come from where we come from, they aren't showing that, you know, that they aren't showing the fact that yes, I'm smart, it's just I didn't feel like doing it. Yeah. They're proving that, man, I'm dumb and I've been dumb for a while. You know what I mean? So like, whereas let's say a school system, I'm gonna just say in like New Jersey, right? Mm-hmm. Where these students probably, you know, there may be a district or even like just private schools. Let's just say like just private schools, right? Yeah. Like students from private schools probably are doing the same thing. It's probably just getting more covered up, or it's when they actually do get pushed through with that No Child Left Behind thing, where they end up in college, right? And now they are on an island now, right? Whereas I have to display some type of smarts, but they probably got it. You know, some probably actually got it.
I got that.
Or there's probably not even a statistic for them, right?
I got that. They're not studying them. I got that.
Yeah, it's probably not being like even heavily studied, but it's just a concept that's, you know, I don't know how we really got there outside of No Child Left Behind. It's like, how do you get students to really be so incapable of being able to write a paper when they get to college type You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
that's the type of task that teachers are getting when they get hired into, school systems. It's like, all right, listen, we just sent some students to, college, and they're telling us like, how did you send them here and they don't know how to write? It's kind of tough. Like
And,
it's kind of tough to be working in the school. It's kind of tough to even be a teacher and know that those students are a product of you,
yeah,
right?
well,
Like,
Because when you get to these colleges,
seems like everybody taking remedial classes.
I was like, hey, I'm just here to do. I'm out. You know what I'm saying? They
yeah,
want to do that extra assistance. They're not going to go beyond their means. You know what I'm saying? They're very busy people.
And the
and I
crazy
mean,
is,
like,
no, go ahead.
I know I was just gonna say, the support is also different too. Like as it relates to those students that get pushed, right? They get pushed. They literally get pushed out of high school and they get pushed into these colleges. But the support is different because now the people or the students who are somehow more worthy than others, they're getting the support that they need to withstand the fire that they have been put in. Where, like, and when I say support, like tutors, right? Like people
Yeah,
who stay on top of them, like mentors. They get that what's needed to propel. It's like, all right, you've been pushed, but you got that student that graduates out of a college and they somehow become damn near the valedictorian, and they say, man, I had a 1.5 graduating high school. But it's like, you had a 1 point what? You had a, well, how did the hell did you get here? And I went to community college, and it's like, oh, you were smart all along. You just bullshitted your way through high school. Versus the ones that get pushed out, right?
yeah,
Like
that's true.
it's a crazy dynamic.
Are there any bridge programs to help children? Help these kids, to prep them for college, like for like
Yeah,
some school wise.
all the time, all the time, every year they have them at universities. I went to Delaware State University, so I'm aware of the summer bridge opportunities that they offered. I remember like coming into college, you had like summer bridge, you had like regular orientation students. They was already segregating us before we even got there, right?
Mhm.
You smart motherfuckers, like they come in with the scholarships all crazy. You got the student athletes, but everybody is segregated. But it's just making sure that you know who everybody is, like as it relates to how they paying to get into this motherfucker, right?
Right.
So like summer bridge students are a group of students that they've been there all summer because they probably needed that extra push to even, it's like, all right, this is what college is going to be like. Can you withstand, summer bridge is basically like, it's like a baby college. It's like, listen, this is an experience, a college experience. I was blessed to even have that opportunity, but like through another program, Upward Bound, right? So like I did that at Morgan when I was in high school, but it was more so, just to be engaged and help me take courses that'll help me out once I get to college, like just simple core courses like English and math and stuff like that. But the summer bridge program, it gives them that extra push, and all colleges, they have that because they know what the hell going on. They know they getting people pushed onto them. So it's like, all right, this is kind of like a weed out. That's what basically Summer Bridge is. But Summer Bridge also offers college credits too, right? Because it's not like it ain't like, no, we dumb. No, we actually probably just had like a lower GPA, or we actually just had lower SAT or ACT scores. So we actually have to do the bridge program to show them that we are worthy to come to this university. We are worthy to learn. We are worthy to, become better and be more than what we are.
How's the equity going in Baltimore City schools? Or
Equity is it's probably what it's always been since I've been in Baltimore City schools. I mean, I graduated out of Baltimore City schools in 2008. So it's it's give or take. It's give or take, and you try to keep everything balanced. But you sometimes you got students worried about what's going on in the county schools, right, where they supposed to worry about what's going on in the city schools, and sometimes they aren't even um feeling like their city school experience is what their friend who in the county school is even experiencing. They don't worthy. They don't treat it with the same type of value. They don't. They don't feel like it has the same worth, and um, it kind of rubs off on leadership, right? And then they start to use their they start to kind of get into their personal feelings about it. And it's like, well, since y'all don't want to treat it right, then we ain't gonna give y'all what y'all was due. And
Yeah.
and it's kind of like a trickle. It's just kind of like a trickle.
That's a
So
sad cycle to be in.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
You know, it's always funny because the city schools, like, it's always been a thing where there was never any AC. You can never write on the paper, and then you always get school, rain, sleet, or snow. 26
Mm.
don't matter.
Man, like yo, I had an opportunity to move back to Baltimore. I was living in Delaware, right? And in 2018, I had an opportunity to come back to Baltimore to work at my high school. So I was like,
Oh, it's
what?
not really.
I'm
You a
going to
punk.
take that.
You
So
a
I
punk.
was like, so I got back and I'm like, man, it's, it's nice, man. It's still hot in here though. Like, it's hot though, right? It's like they get these new AC units. I'm like, wow, man, it's like they waited till I came back to do this.
But right,
Like,
thing about that is that I was in well, I remember when I was in kindergarten and 1997, fucking damn near 20 years later, you still ain't pay for AC. You gotta think about how much money they've done accumulated on all these years. You still can't afford an AC.
Three schools shut down last week because they
Like,
didn't
come
have
on,
AC.
man.
I'm like, the AC ain't now been fixed. I remember I graduated in '05. We literally just got brand new history books that year. Like the year I'm graduating, we get history books I'm not going to use. Mind you, we were using history books from like 96 before that.
yeah. I mean, like the beauty, listen, man, the beauty of right, like the beauty of all of these storms that we encounter within that type of system, right? No matter where we are, no matter what city, no matter what state, right? Because I've been to Chicago. I've actually did like 2 weeks in Chicago one summer with some students from the inner city where they were learning about commercial real estate, right?
Damn.
So like those are the type of summer programs that they're getting involved in, what they're offering to the inner city, like the inner city public school systems, and these kids are really learning how to develop just commercial relations with corporate contractors and things like that. And it was like this shit was like so far beyond like the means of like I was just a fucking counselor for the program, right? You know what I mean? And I'm just but while I'm there, I'm someone who the students are like gravitating to because it's me who they see. It's me who I'm taking them from place to place, and like from one class to another class and to lunch, and but I'm also getting the opportunity to learn about this stuff too and gain the same knowledge. And I'm just like, yo, what they're learning, like they're learning some top notch shit, man. And there's a lot of programs like that for students, not even just in Chicago, but they offer these types of programs where they can learn about real estate. They can learn about things that they're not teaching like in the school system, and again, it's only offered to the inner city students, right? Because or the inner city public school systems because it's not offered inside their classrooms, right? So it's like, well, why aren't you offering these programs to the people that go to the private schools or to the different charter schools? And it's like, well, they got it in their curriculum. So we don't gotta offer them these extravagant things. So it's kind of like the equity there is it's but then again, these programs yet still aren't even offered by they're not offered by the school system. They're offered by private programs. Like these are people who went to college to make life better for inner city students. So
Nice.
when you get people like that in certain places, they can, you know, make moves. And that's what we got to do as Black people. Like
Yeah.
we just always, um, we got to make moves. And you get
Yeah.
teachers who end up working in these types of, you know, environments. And what do? They go hard for their students because they see what we got around. You know what I mean? They shed a light on opportunities that they can get, or they use whatever sources that they can get to make these things happen. So, you know, it's not all bad, with the, you know,
Yeah.
with the lack thereof
Yeah.
that we have. You just make the best with it.
So you pretty much just taking the onus of providing the equity that's lacking with what's already be establishing, pretty much.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
How do you feel about the COVID protocols you have or lack thereof that's in the school system right
Uh Man,
now? You ain't gotta say that crazy. You don't have to say
nah,
crazy.
I just say it like this, man. Shorty, pull your mask up. Like, I see how important like the mask protocol is. I did I hosted the graduation for, you know, my school that just
Yeah.
passed, and you know, the mayor was up there with me. You know, me and Scott was up there, and I'm like, yo, I gotta make that joke while he's here. Yo, I gotta do that. Yeah, how can I make it happen? And the students was like walking up to the stage, and I'm like, all right, y'all, let's go. I need the first row up. Hey, shorty, pull your mask up. He started laughing
Oh,
and
that's
shit. But I'm thinking like, yo, I was the only one who didn't have his mask on.
Oh my god!
Look,
Really?
look. Yo, so I was look, right. So I got there, mask on. I got there, you know, got my all white on, got my mask on. So, like they like, yeah, you're the host, and I really found out that I was the host the day before.
Oh
Like,
damn!
Okay.
yeah,
Oh damn!
yeah. So like, I don't know. I think the other host bailed. I don't know what happened. But I guess they didn't even think to ask me if I could host, so I ended up doing it. And then like while I'm there, I'm just like, all right. I'm like, all right, well, if I'm on a microphone, I don't think I was like, man, I ain't been watching no type of damn content where I'm seeing somebody speak, right? With a mask on. I ain't seen it. Everybody who's been
Yeah, I
speaking, like
mean,
even if it's like comedians, if it's like
Yeah,
rappers,
nobody got a
whatever,
mask
right?
on.
yeah.
Yeah, they don't have a mask on if they're hosting. So I'm like, well, I guess I ain't gotta have my mask on. Then like the whole damn procession come out. You got the mayor, the principal, all the whole staff, all the goddamn everybody got mask on. They got the school mask on too. They decked out.
Nice.
I'm like, all right, all the students got their mask on. I'm like, I'm the only one who don't. I say, okay, that's appropriate. Everybody's keeping me safe, so I'm good. I'm
Yeah.
good.
Nice.
Yeah. But it was like, it was dope though, man. And like, you know, all of the students, they're wearing their mask. I mean, they're getting different mandates. You know, like you know, the CDC is allowing this, they allowing that. School is telling them this, they allowing that, and through all of it, students have masks on. You know what I mean?
Nice.
Teachers have masks on. Everybody has masks on. They don't play about the mask. I haven't gotten sick since 2019, so I've had my mask on, and I keep my mask on where I feel like I need to have it on, and it's been working for my immune. Um, but the protocols, you know, yet still, like I said, they not making people think, oh well, we out here free, or we don't got to be sanitized up. I mean, students are always looking for sanitizer. Teachers are always looking for sanitizer. If they run out, it's sanitizer everywhere, almost at the end of every hallway. So, I mean, it's
That's good.
you know,
That's really good.
that's them continuing to do their part.
That's really good. They had it at place.
How do you think things are going to change come July the 1st when everything's pretty much opening up here in Maryland, and nothing's permitted to where you have to wear your mask as far as like publicly? That's going to affect
I mean,
your job.
Well, first of all, I didn't even know that. I didn't even know that's when it goes down. That's when it goes down, July 1st. Shit, that's coming soon to a theater near every fucking body. So I just think that I guess I'm one of those ones that want to see some data, right? I want to see some facts. I love a great time, and I know that protocols and being on lockdown can prevent those great times. But if that's the case, then like it's almost like, all right, let's see if now are they going to be testing people? Like, how are they going to find out if this is, or does it just die out here? In July, I guess like it's over. Also, to say the least, how long did they have to wear a mask when the Spanish flu came back, or when the Spanish flu came around in 1918, right?
But that's
Like,
due
how
to
long
like
was
two,
that?
3 years for that shit to go away. They saying this might not be done until 2024. That's if everybody still wear masks, everybody get the vaccine, everything go exactly as they need to go. 2024 is when they say it's gonna be out. It's gonna be out here. So we still got time. We still got time.
Yeah.
Man, I think like more than just a mass protocol, right? That's like, I guess now what this does is bring more people out.
Yeah.
Man, and people wilding. Like, people are wild.
People
Like,
shaking ass on
like,
police cars. They doing
yeah,
everything. They don't give a damn.
they are
They
wilding.
said
So
we
like,
out
You know
here.
the crazy thing, I thought crime would go down.
The crowd went up.
Everybody was supposed to be staying home. It went up.
People like, look, people stay home. Let me get this in real quick. Everybody in the house.
yeah, that's just that's kind of how I'm looking at it, because I can't, I ain't sitting here saying that I got a King Kong immune system, but like, and I'm just going ape shit with life, but I'm just hoping that I don't get sick anytime soon.
Yeah.
Like, I haven't even had nothing such as a common cold, maybe like a scare or two. But I don't think I'm gonna be, playing people too closely. I plan on going to a music festival, but that's not until December.
Okay.
So yeah, so I mean, hopefully by the time I'm more comfortable with just being around a whole bunch of people. I mean, I know I'm going to end up at probably I want to end up somewhere, maybe like a concert or something, or before the actual music festival comes around in December. I mean, we in summertime now. And I just want to see how I react. I want to see how I react for real. Like, I know I'm going to have my mask with me. I hit an amusement park, and I was, I had my mask on at some points. I mean, of course, like when I got out of like water rides, stuff like that. Yeah, but yeah, like, you said what?
I said you had your mask though.
Yeah, definitely had my mask. Had my mask. You got, and it's just dumb. Like the lifting. I mean, like you said, right? It's July 1st, but I feel like they already just started lifting it, because they got signs that say, all right, wear your mask if you aren't vaccinated. It's like, nigga, you don't even know.
Well, you don't know whether I am or I'm not.
Yeah, like how do you even know?
People out here selling fake cards. People out here selling fake everything. Saying all back saying no, they ain't got no shots. It's wild.
Man.
Yeah, I've been to Vegas a few weeks ago, man. Everything's pretty much open. They don't really care. Like, they have people in, free ball in. It doesn't really matter. You know what I'm saying?
And it's like, I mean, that's how it is here in Cali. Like, they don't really care. They ain't tripping.
Look, I'm not telling y'all not to live your lives, but I'm going to
ain't no mass security.
Everything. I wear my mask. I haven't been in groups larger than 10 or 15. I haven't been in groups larger than 10 or 15. Wear my mask constantly. It's crazy. I'm not ready to be around a lot of people like that yet. Of course, I eventually will be, but not yet. Because it's like I'm trying to mitigate every circumstance I can to keep myself safe. Because I don't know who isn't vaccinated, who positive, who negative for the COVID. Nobody knows. There's no possible way unless I see you go take the test or you got the negative card on you or something like that. How do I know? And herd immunity hasn't kicked in because we only got 60% of the population that's actually took the vaccine, any form, the 1 shot or the 2 shot. So there's a lot of people that's vaccinated, there's a lot of people that's unvaccinated right now. So just live your life. Don't let it stop you living your life, but take every precaution you can to keep yourself safe. And just because you are vaccinated does not mean you are the asymptomatic carrier in comparison with somebody else. That just says
Yeah,
if
man.
you do get it, it will lessen your symptoms. It'll stop you from getting it. It don't mean you can't pass it to somebody else.
Any more questions, Royal?
Yeah, Rock, can you tell us a little bit more about your podcast?
Oh man, yeah, definitely so. Properly Uncivilized podcast. Um, so first off, right, I remember my cousin was trying to put me on to podcasts. My cousin, I'm actually out here with Mace. And he's also my one of my co-hosts on my podcast. He was trying to put me on to the Joe Button podcast. And I was like,
Yep.
I'm like, Joe Button podcast. I'm like, bro, Joe's a spitter. Like, he don't do no podcast. He be trolling. Like, what the fuck are you listening to him for? I thought my cousin was fucking tainted. I thought something was wrong with him, right? So then like, so then like, and then another guy I know, he's a Eagles fan, and he was like, "Hey man, I want you to listen to my Eagles podcast." I'm like, "Bro, I'm a Ravens fan. Like, why would I listen to an Eagles podcast?" But he was like, "Nah, like it's a sports podcast though, but like, why would you lead with that though? Like, I'm not listening to that, bro. Like, I'm not listening to that." I'm like, why would I just listen to? It just fucked me up. Like, what would I be listening to you talk for? What would I be listening to any of y'all talk for? I don't even listen to that, bro. You're not, if it's not, I'm like, if it ain't Wayne, if it ain't Drake, if it ain't Cole, if it ain't Hove, I'm like, I'm not trying to hear that. Like, I'm not trying to hear nobody talk unless it's over a beat, right? So then I came home one day from when I was living in Delaware. This was probably like back in like maybe 2015, something like that, 16. So I came home one day, pull up to Mace crib. So Mace is in the house. He's watching the Joe Button podcast, right? So I'm like, wait, yo, this is the same thing you was listening to in the car? It's like, I'm like, really like this shit, don't you, yo? So he's like, yeah. So I'm watching it. I'm like, oh, yo, this shit is tough. Like, okay, like this is what podcasting is. He was like, yeah. I was like, but wait, is this the same thing that they was doing on the audio? I'm like, yeah, right. And I'm like, I ignored podcasting and like shunned it out of my life and like ignored it and was so ignorant to it that I never really knew that it was something that was like kind of like a good fit for me, right? So I did an internship with CBS Radio, right? So ironic. And I was working. My internship was in production for a talk show. So ironic, right? So I'm like, all right. I'm like, this shit is actually pretty cool. Like, oh, this is actually pretty dope. Like, all right. So then I was like, man, I ignored the idea of having like a radio show when I was in college because I was like, I don't like radio. I like video. I was so invested in like video that I didn't even know that this is an experience that you can have on both types of mediums, right? So like I was just so ignorant to that because I was more focused on like TV and filmmaking per se. So I wasn't really privy to the whole idea of podcasting. So anyway, fast forward, we kept listening to this podcast, and when we were chilling, like every time we chilling, we always had like these great conversations. And he always told me like, yo, you should get a radio show, or yo, you should do a podcast. He was like, yeah, like that should be dope, bro. Like I'll do it with you. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I don't know about all that. Like I just started liking podcasts. Like now I don't want to think that I can do some shit like that, right? So shout out to Anchor. I use Anchor to
That's right, Anchor. Let's go.
You feel me? I use Anchor to do the podcast, and I found out about that through another podcast. But it was like I was just listening to these podcasts, and I started to become a fan of podcasts. And it's like, yo, this is something that I probably can plug myself into and actually fit into this box. Like I'm a lyricist, of course, so I got bars, and I always can do something over a beat. But as something that's like just a well fit hobby to just get into and to just have fun with, and like it's almost to a point where it's like, yo, even like before this happened, right? Because I got like tons of fucking podcasts that we did, or just when we recorded Because when he said like, yo, I think we should do podcasts, like we would always record these conversations when chicks come over, and I would be like, y'all, like I'm putting the phone in the middle of the table and they know that I'm recording. And they literally talking about everything. I'm gonna have to put something out one day. I'm gonna have to edit it down though. But it's just like, I was just like, yo, like it's crazy how they just trusted me with what's happening right now. Like I told them that I'm recording, and then they start to just, and then we listen back to these conversations and they're like so interesting that we have our own type of podcast. So it's like, but nobody's hearing this. I was like, but I don't even care. He was like, yo, we might as well just do a podcast. He was like, you don't even care if people listen to it. Like, we might as well do it. I was like, bet. So that's how I ended up doing it.
How was making your first podcast?
Making my first podcast was interesting. So let's start here. I had like the full throttle going in last summer, 2020, right? Like when the pandemic was when it was started to, when the grease started to really get slippery and we was settling in, and I bought all of this fucking equipment, just getting ready to just do the first episode, and then like I got all the way up to a point where it was like, all right, what next? And it's like, all right, I'm gonna go to the bar, celebrate nothing. Like, yeah. Let's do that. And then I got like injured, and then I was injured for mad months. So now we in 2021 and I'm still injured, and I'm on Clubhouse, right? And I'm in like this I'm in this room, and I just magically appeared in not magically, I started to follow like people that was into media, movies and shit, and it was a voiceover room, and I was like, yo, I'm hurt, I'm in the bed, I had a like back injury and shit, but I'm like, I can still get into something, I can do voiceover. And then I was like, wait, if I'm gonna do voiceover, I might as well just do podcasting
as well.
I was like, I bought all of that fucking equipment, like I might as well just use it. Like, what am I trying to do voiceover for? Like, it was like, yo, just do it. Like, my back can still be fucked up, and my back was still fucked up when I started. Like, and I think like, I'm like, all right, so we got the first episode, and I wrote all of this shit down, and then we recorded the episode, and then we never put it out. me and Mace recorded it, right? Never put it out, right?
So episode 1, a lost episode.
It's a lost episode, but it's still like I think I still got it, right? It was like we never put it out because it was like, I don't know, it was just something didn't feel right, like something. I'm like, yo, it was cool, but like,
did it feel trash?
Yeah. So no. So what's crazy what's wild is, it was just supposed to be like, all right, so it's like podcasting is like a chemistry, right?
Yes.
Mentally present, it was supposed to be just me and him, but my roommate was present too in the background, right? He was present in the background. He's also a co-host though on my podcast right now, right? He's in the background.
At the time, it was different.
Nah, it wasn't that. The thing was he was present during that time, but I felt like he should have been on the mic.
Okay.
But he was like in the background.
He was out of place.
Yeah, he was like out of place, right? So it was just like, it was weird. Like, it was just all weird for me, but I could flow. I can be uncomfortable and make the shit comfortable. And it was just like, all right, nah, I don't know. All right, this ain't gonna work, man. Let's just go back to the drawing board.
You don't learn about organization until after you make a few. And learn how things are supposed to be structured.
But listen though, right? That was also my intention. My intention was, this shit gonna be lit, but it's gonna be like a rough. It's gonna be like a rough, right? We could either do this again, because we listened to it. It sounded good, like, right? But it was just like, he was in the background.
You could have made like a pilot trailer type of episode.
You said what?
I
probably could have. It's still something that can be done because it's timeless content. Like we was talking, it's timeless. It wasn't really too much. I think we was talking about the goddamn breach of the Capitol. So it's like
yes, that's been relevant forever. That's relevant forever.
Yeah. So it's like it can either be like some shit I just come on, I can just come on in the beginning and just let the world know, listen, man, this was supposed to be the first episode. Like, we just gonna give it to y'all, right? Like, just
that could be
yeah. So but my thought was like, we gotta either do this again like this, like, which is hard. Like, it's almost like Stephen Clay coming out having a good game, and it's like, yo, you want us to do this every night, yo? Like, I mean, we nice as shit. Like, you want us to do this every night? It's like, all right. And then I was like, or my roommate has to be on the first episode. Like, that's, you know what I mean? So it's just like, I was like, all right. So then we basically started to like build a team with the shit. And then we got like a core 4, like, it's like 3 guys and a girl. Like, it was like a perfect mix. And that's, how we went in with the first episode. And I'm not gonna lie, like, I was just so anxious and I was just so interested that like this actually like really happening. So like we recorded the shit, and like literally like right after, like, I'm talking about, like, I was so in tune with the media. I was listening to Clubhouse in one fucking ear, I got the AirPod in another ear. Like, it's like I'm editing, I'm busting shit down, I'm like, oh, I'm downloading shit, all of the stuff they was telling me to do voiceover, I'm using that stuff to like help me out, get this down. And it's like, it was a challenge though. And like every piece of the challenge, just for the first episode to actually like happen, it was just like, wow, this shit is like really real. But it's like, yo, I'm thinking about all of these people who like really do big time podcasts. It's like, yo, like, this is all they doing. They just like recording, they just editing, they just putting it out. But it's just like, it's like an anxiety though. Like, it's just like just like an anxiety, because it's just like, yo, but this shit is actually like anybody can hear this. Like,
Yeah.
it's like it's not like it's a sex tape, but it's like, man, it's like
it's something
once this shit is out, it's out.
It's something that's intimate but public, and it's something that's simple but complicated at the same time, because you got different levels of podcasting. You got, because the big people, they just all they do is come and record. They don't have to edit it out. They don't got to do. They have other people. They have sound engineers, they have vocal engineers, they have people that do the video, they have videographers, all the other stuff doing it for. But for us, it's us doing everything.
Yeah,
it's a fact.
But smaller people is just you doing everything. You can't, unless you have enough money to pay somebody to edit your shit or video record your shit, whatever. But that's something for something bigger. Unless you was balling their money or something, you can't do that. Yeah, work with your constraints.
And you can still hear me, right?
Yeah, okay.
Yeah. So and you would just think like, you just think there's just so much going on behind the scenes. but like you said though, the big wigs, they just come in. It's just like literally like a sport, right? They just come to the field, they just play, and then they just leave, and then they get home, and then they look on ESPN, and they be like, oh.
Of course they do. Of course they doing other stuff behind the scenes, but the actual podcast stuff, all they do is come in and record. Of course they have the business side of everything, but
definitely
the actual main speaking portion, all they do is come in, like, all right, you make sure they're set up, you make sure that's set up, and then I come in and do my thing.
And then like you said, I mean, they still got to do things, man. They have creative control. It's like, yo, I remember I said this then, right? So it's just cool, like, for like, when it's cool to like know, like, when we record and right, like somebody will say something, they be like, oh yeah, edit that out. And it's like, yo, that's so funny, like that we can literally like record something and like, be able to just edit, and it's not like we editing the whole damn thing out, but it's just like, it's like some stuff you can edit out, and it's like you just learn that whole thing of like media creation and how productions are made. You know what I mean? And you start to appreciate the time and the effort that's put into one show. You know what I mean? Like, just one show.
It's a lot of stuff. It's a lot.
You start to appreciate that, man. Like, when you hear other people's work, like, it's just like, yo, I respect that shit. Like, I respect it, because it's not like it ain't easy, bro. It's not easy.
Like I said, it's simple but complicated. It's simple but complicated. Concept is simple. The execution is complicated.
Yeah, I definitely respect people who do a podcast every day.
Oh, I can't do that, dog. That's too much. That's way too much.
And do it by yourself. Like
Yeah,
I think
yeah,
got a lot of respect for Joe Rogan because that's
definitely.
tough. That's really tough.
I
And to
Yeah.
have
couldn't do what I couldn't
story
do what he does.
engaging, with your guests. Like I think that's a really extreme talent to have.
Yeah, and it's also like it's kind of like you create the battery that you put in your own back, right? So if you want to do a podcast today, you got to know what comes with it, and you got to be up for that ride. And if you are up for that ride, the people who are in tune with you, they are on that journey with you, and it becomes like, yeah, he does it by himself, but it's not by himself. Like there's people who are like invested in. There's people who are they're getting paid off of this. Like there are a lot of people who probably don't have to work a regular job because of what the work that they put in to make those type of productions happen. So when
That's
you're
true.
able to get when you're able to get guests, like period, when you're able to get guests, like people's time is like, bruh, people's time is tough to get a hold of.
Oh, don't
Yes,
I know it? Don't I
Like
yes,
know it?
yes.
people's time is tough to get a hold of. So when you're able to see, like you said, fucking crazy respect to Joe Rogan for him to do all of these podcasts and have all of these guests, and for them to know like it becomes bigger than just him
And it's
wanting
nice
this to work,
like
right?
a small episode. He be talking for about 2 or 3 hours.
And it becomes bigger now than just him wanting to make this work. It's like now people are seeking him for them to work. Like, you
Mm-hmm.
know what I mean? It's like role reversed. It's like, I want to get on your show and then say, I was on the Joe
Yeah.
Rogan show, right? Like, like, and I'm here, so I can say, yo, I was on Simply Amazing. Like it's a
We'll take
simply awesome. My
it.
bad. I'm here, but this shit is simply amazing though. Like,
Yes, yes, it is. It is, yes.
simply awesome is simply
Simply
fucking
amazing.
amazing.
Yes.
And it's like, I'm honored to even be here, right? Like I appreciate, just the extension, because it's like I know y'all beyond the name of this podcast, right? So it's bigger than just the name, but it's just the opportunity and just listening to y'all speak. And it's like, they remind me of what I think everything is, which is properly uncivilized. Like, and that's the type of conversations that y'all have. That's the type of conversations that we have, and that's the type of energy that we love, right? It's like toxic, but it's like counter toxic energy, right? It's like I'm listening to one of y'all shows the other day, and I I heard you say yo, you hit it raw. Can you be vaccinated too? I'm like, yo, wait, why it sound like I'm listening to my podcast?
It gotta be possible.
Yeah.
Roy gonna test that theory tonight. Good
Oh,
luck.
hell no, you out of pocket, bro. No, that's all you, baby. That's all you. No, it's a hilarious concept, man. I like your podcast. I like what y'all doing over here. I'm only like 2 episodes in, but I love the energy over here. I love the energy. I like the content. I will be listening more.
I'll definitely listen to your podcast, Rock. I have yet to listen to it, but hey, at least we got the man himself in person, and can't wait to hear the rest of your co-hosts and your chemistry.
Hey,
Yes,
appreciate
yes.
that, man. Appreciate that.
Okay, let's get into some topics, people.
Yes, sir.
Let's do it.
All right, let's get into let's see. Juneteenth. Let's hop into that. Let's
Juneteenth.
hop into okay, if you may not know, Juneteenth was officially made a federal holiday the other day. It is a very polarizing topic. It's something that has been asked for like 20-something years to be a holiday. It's bittersweet that it actually passed. It's sweet that it's passed because people are working towards it so long for it to be passed. It's bitter because there are other things that need to be pushed for, like the anti-election bill that has been passed, the voter suppression act that needs to go back in place.
Mm-hmm.
We also have other things like anti-terrorism things, anti-blackness bill that need to go in place, but those are in place. I'm happy about it, but I don't know how to feel about it happening now. I'm happy it happened, but I don't know how to feel about it. What are your thoughts on it?
I feel like it's pandering to us a little bit. As to throw us like a bone, for President Biden's presidency. Uh, but ultimately, we need what we need. We need respect. We need equity, and we need to be properly compensated for our pain and suffering for our forefathers. You know what I'm saying? 400 years of slavery, clearly. You know what I'm saying? I mean, either compensate us with monetary money or give us our 40 acres of the meal. I think we'll call it square. We need reparations, real reparations. You know what I'm
Very
saying?
true.
We
Definitely.
need you know uh, more opportunities in the workforce. We need more public accommodations. Here in the inner city where there's more black representation. You know what I'm saying? We need to have an equal opportunity in life, or somewhat of a equal opportunity within the society as our Caucasian counterparts, let's say, who's already had a head start in this country. I mean, that's
This,
all I can say about it. But saying I represent our black people, as long as you as well as you two as well, and I'm pretty sure that we know that we need more than a holiday. You know what I'm saying? There's people struggling each and every day, people on unemployment, people homeless, people just searching, you know, to find the next meal, or what I'm saying, where they're gonna be at. You know what I'm saying? And people in our community. And we don't need a holiday. We need actual real help, real reparations. That's what I think.
yeah, I think, man, I think it's like you just hit that like nail on the right on the nose. Like um it's important to also just just see the bullshit that comes with it though, right? Like now it's I mean people gonna be using I didn't already seen MLK drink specials. So now they gonna have like how do you celebrate, Juneteenth? Like um I mean outside of, making sure you got parades and celebrations. I mean, I'm not really enthused to celebrate. Like it's like all right, like we can replace it for 4th of July. You know what I mean? Like
Mm-hmm.
and that's kind of like what I've been doing that with my friends for a few years now, and I guess since I got educated on it, which probably happened more so in college. I can honestly say that my school system didn't really prepare me for every political storm I would have to fight.
Mm-hmm.
But that was something that I I was one of those ones who I wouldn't possibly say that I was pushed through because my grades were pretty decent, but there's some things that I made it through without having to know.
There were gaps in your education. Let's say that there were
Yeah,
gaps in your
like and
education.
it's like yo, how come I don't know these things? And it's like I'm fighting to learn these things. And then once you learn, it's like, oh, cool. So it's like, all right, yeah, it's not a national holiday. All right, cool, right? It needs to be a national holiday. But now there's something for like, all right, if it's a national holiday, I seen people saying, all right, so now white people get off for Juneteenth too. You know that, right? Like it's a
The federal
national
holiday,
holiday.
yeah.
So it's like it's
Not
kind
only
of
that,
like
the profit off of having just Juneteenth. June.
yes, yes, yes. And it's and on one and on on one hand, it's like yo, we knew what this day was. It's not like this day was a fake. Like you need them to make it a national holiday to
Yeah,
make it real. But now it's like we need them to make it a national holiday, at least for people to start learning about something now. I mean, people are really they're literally asking real questions. Like Twitter is one of the most toughest apps to be on, man. Like as a person, like
yeah.
you gotta have thick skin to be on there. And people are literally learning about Juneteenth on there. Like some people like, what is that? When is that? What was that? And they like, what? And then there's other people that's like, yo, chill, they need to know. And it's like it's a great forum to be on and just to see people get educated on it and to see how people actually react because a lot of these people react the same way they do in real life on the socials, to say the least. And I'm just saying, like when I say react, it's more so like their ignorance.
Yeah,
Like
Mm-hmm.
they're
yeah,
people who
yeah,
are they have the same type of ignorance in real life. So um, you know, Juneteenth is here and it's a national holiday and that's good because it's gonna make a lot of people uncomfortable. And
yeah.
then that's probably what's needed for people to start acting accordingly as it relates to black people. Like, there's a lot of people who are just ignorantly racist and blatantly racist to black people, and they don't even know that they're doing it. And it's like they know what they're doing, but they don't know that what they're doing it's traumatizing. It's like very traumatizing. So um I don't know, maybe white people gonna stay in on Juneteenth. maybe black people gonna let them know not to come outside on Juneteenth. You know what I
No,
mean?
joke. That's funny. That's funny.
They gonna change the rules a little bit, even though they don't make them, they're gonna try to change them up a little bit. But I mean, outside of that, man, I mean, like, real rap, I think it's just something that was just needed. I mean, we got Black History Month, and it's kind of like, yeah, we'll be supposed to shut up about that, or
But that's not for us. That's for them. We know our history.
Oh yeah,
We
yeah,
know
right.
our stuff.
You're right.
That's for them. That's not for us.
That's true. That's true. But I mean, the little bit that is for us is like the highlight of
Of course, we're not saying we don't need it. That is very much needed, but it's
No.
not for us to learn because we know our history. Well, most of us do anyway.
Well, this is also like the time where some of our black businesses get some support, right?
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they only get support when it's time to like get support. So
That's true.
like, yeah, everybody's gonna try to profit off of June 19th though.
Yeah.
Like, and I mean, shit, I mean, if hell, I saw somebody say if you selling t-shirts for $60 and Walmart got them for $5, who do you think I'm going to? Like, where do you think I'm going? I'm going to Wally's World, baby.
Yeah. That's true.
But I mean, but I mean, the reality in that is don't just choose these windows to support these black businesses though, right?
All
Like,
year round, baby. All
yeah,
year round.
like it's like some of these fake black people be killing me, man. Like they killing me. Like, oh, support these are the businesses I'm supporting on June 19th. Well, like what black business did you support yesterday?
Yes.
Like why does it just have to be June 19th? Why does it just have to be on July 4th? Because you don't want to support white businesses on July 4th, but like you're gonna go back, like come on, like let's kick the shit, man. Like
I try to support a black business every week as much as I can. I try to give back to my community and do what I can to support the people that I know. If I have an option to shop black, I shop black. If there's no other option, I shop black. But if there's an option to do it, I do it.
I think it's important to just put it in your rotation though. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I mean, for the most part, like I think from this point on, like, and it's been like this for like maybe the last 3 to 5 years. But if I bought a hoodie, it's literally from somebody I went to school with. Like, I went on their website. Like, if I bought a sweatsuit, like if I really bought a sweatsuit, like it came from them. Unless it was like something I needed quick, like if I needed something for work, then yeah. And I probably ran to Walmart, or probably grabbed a sweatshirt out of there, just something. But outside of that, it's like I kind of like make sure I aim to support, these businesses and become a common customer to a lot, like to those who I can, right? We got some friends who got some outrageous prices. However,
some people stuff ain't for everybody.
We aren't. However, we know that we aren't that everyday type of customer.
Yeah.
we just happen to consume that product once or twice, or having
some stuff might be every once in a while. Might be like, hey, I can't touch you every week. Maybe I'll touch you twice, 2-3 times a year because of the price. Like this,
but definitely.
Not even about that. You can also just promote that thing, and
share it. Yeah, I was
just
about to say that. You able to put them on by doing that, and they are getting those everyday customers or those all the time customers that maybe Gucci once may have, and they probably snag them from there, right? Because it's a bag that she may sell that's is even as high. The girls in the hood can't afford it, but she got somebody who could, right? Or listen, she can make it happen, and the vice versa with guys who got businesses too, right? Like they probably sell some sneakers that it's like they a little high, but whoever used to wear Prada's now they shopping with you now because you got some high end stuff that they like to go to all the time. But yeah, man, it's an evolution of black going on, and it needs to continue. I like where it's going.
100%.
Juneteenth is like I said, it's important and it's bittersweet. I love that I've been celebrating since high school. I didn't learn about it in high school. I learned about it on my own outside of educating myself. I got my friends and my family into it. We celebrate. We do usually like cook out, grill or whatever, do stuff. We didn't do anything this year because of all the stuff going on. We usually do. Well, actually, I did. We did do something. We supported Black business. We brought some stuff from a couple Black businesses and did it like that. But usually we have a little gathering or whatever and something like that. Some people are saying that it's not for everybody. I say it's a celebration for Black people that all other people were free. Everybody was free at that point. Even though we know they kept some of us enslaved years after, after that point, all of us were free. Everybody was a free person, had free will on themselves and all that. I say that's a glorious thing for us. That's my 4th of July. That's my celebrate because all my people got independence. We didn't have independence 4th of July. That wasn't the Constitution went for us. We laid 3/5 of a person.
And I think it's also important to note that it was Black people letting Black people free too. Like some of those officers, who came at the last tail end of, like you said, on June 19th, 1865, to get these last little bit of slaves and to let them know that they are liberated. Some of these Union soldiers were Black soldiers, so it's definitely a historical thing to celebrate and to always remember. And I think, like, just tying it in with, like you said, like 4th of July isn't when we had our freedom. It wasn't when we became independent. It was when our masters, you know what I mean? When they was like, all right, they free, but we still held captive and we still under a different type of rule right now. And we try and get up out of this. So, I mean, hell, have a shot of whiskey, take a shot of vodka. I mean, smoke a blunt, whatever.
Matter of fact, I brought some Uncle Nurse on that day. That's funny. Uncle Nurse is good as shit. I'm gonna say that. Uncle Nurse is good as shit. I'll place my jack with that.
No more I watch these shows. I watch these like shows, man, and they, like if they're good, and some of these movies that came out, like the one Janelle Monáe came out and I forget.
Oh, yeah, I know the one. Antebellum. Yeah.
And it's like it was kind of just giving you a dose of that time. It was like Civil War time, I believe.
Yeah. It was wild to see the transition through time.
Yeah,
like that.
It's just crazy to see that, and they try to take this stuff out of the school systems and out of the curriculums one way or another. Not sure about how it's getting done, but
we know how it's getting done.
You serve a certain ignorance though for like a lot of the kids we see participating in these things. They are playing like the side that we don't want to see them on the side of, and it's like
that's true.
It's like, yo, like, it's just their ignorance is that they don't know that side is not the side to be on, right? But
because they aren't taught anything.
Yeah, like, but it's like little do they know that's the side that they belong on because of their ancestors, and it's crazy just about like, or not even necessarily them belonging, but it's just crazy how we're learning about these things today and still trying to just continue to educate people through media because it's not being inside of the actual textbooks or it's not being taught in the schools.
It's crazy to see how when you look back at it and see what you don't know, what you learned, you have to unlearn and teach yourself something else because what you learned was wrong.
Mm-hmm. There's too many omissions. Black history definitely has to be taught in K through 12. The sooner the better.
Yeah.
All right.
Encapsulates all of history instead of omission of just showing things that necessarily happen in U.S. history or a few things that happen over Europe.
Definitely.
And most textbooks, our history is maybe a paragraph or half a page. And that's it. Like you'll see slavery, you'll see maybe a paragraph or two or half a page, and that's it.
Yeah, like the middle
most of the decisions through the school board is made in Texas. To be for real, that's where the printing companies are. That's what they do. They do a big meeting and then they say what's in the school book and what's not. And whatever's in the school books protected, it was going to be national. This is a good segue into what we're going to talk about next, which is critical race theory, which they're trying to get rid of, trying not to put in schools, which is you're actually talking about the slave trade, the actual slave trade. You're talking about actual race relations, how it deals with history, how Jim Crow affected history, how redlining affected history, how everything is affected by race and the outcomes and the everything that influences like property ownership, we can move to, banks will lend to you, all the other stuff, and everything is wrapped up in race. They don't want to teach in schools, man. They say, no, we want to keep you. People are protesting saying, I don't want my kids taught this racist crap, taught the real history of America, where white people fucked our people over. Like, people like, I'm not racist. My kids don't need to learn it. So your kids don't need to learn actual history.
About history.
They don't need to learn how my people, our people were fucked over. They don't need to learn that the 60s weren't that long ago. Jim Crow was over in the late 60s, early 70s. That's when our grandparents and parents were alive. My parents was like 10, 11 years old during that time period.
Right. You talk about the stereotypes.
It's not that long ago.
Adding racism that's been implemented.
And redlining and stuff is still going on today. They still deny people loans. They're still segregating houses and places. We still have sundown towns in America. There are places outside Chicago can't go to.
So I used to drive Lyft, right? And I used to like put myself in like neighborhoods where I don't usually would go to. Like I wouldn't usually go to, because usually, like, I mean, I live in a city, so if I'm leaving from home, if I turn the little online thing on, like to go online on Lyft, then it's gonna apparently it's gonna take me nearby, right? So I would go places like where I didn't go, and I would be going into like parts of Maryland that I didn't even know existed. Like, have you ever heard of Phoenix, Maryland?
Yeah.
Yeah, never been. Wow.
Never been heard of it. Never been there.
Yo, it's like Get Out land. It's like it's no service at all. I was like, all right, I need to get the hell up out of here. Like, I need to just get up out of here. But like, and then you just looking like, it's just like even in like near Roland Avenue, right? Like, it's like neighborhoods that you would never go into. I was like, let me just go into these neighborhoods and see what they look like. And I'm like going to these neighborhoods, but I'm like,
crazy.
I'm like, how come like you see people like playing in their yard with their kids? You see people with like bikes and stuff in their yard, and it's like this isn't like nothing far fetched I've never seen before in the city. Like we have these types of things in our yard. But it's more like your mother be like, you better bring that bike up here, but you better bring that bike in here. Don't leave that bike right there, right? It's different, right? You see like people playing catch with their dad. Like it's just like wow, right? It's just like yo, this is crazy. Like
a commercial.
I don't see like no black people living around here. And it's like, yo, and it's like everything that like click, it's like redlining, like whoa, like you start to like really integrally. I started to like look more into like redlining and and it's stuff that I actually have to teach too. So it gets me every time where I'm just thinking about where I live and when I'm thinking about certain people live and thinking about like where I could never live because they won't even allow me to like live there. Like there's no market for me there. And in a lot of places and a lot of times it's just like for our safety. Think about it like this, right? We see certain people in our neighborhoods and like I remember being younger, the only time we seen white people in our neighborhoods, it's like they had to be there working or they were like on drugs. Like,
the Comcast guy.
Yeah, nobody lives, nobody like white. Like, and then it's like, and then when I go around certain other people's neighborhood and then I know the white people that live around there and I'm like, wait, but they're not the Comcast guy. They're not the guy that's coming to check on or do no work. And it's just like, yo, but it's just like, all right, well, these are like areas where like just as well as this red line where, maybe like certain black people wouldn't like live or can't like even be able to move. There's certain white people that don't live in certain areas too, because like depending on who you are is depending on how the realtor or the realtor is gonna deliver this property to you.
That's
Like
true.
it's just so crazy, like that dynamic, man. It's just so wild to see. And it just makes me think like for my future, like
Yeah, the thing is that these black people, I don't know where they're gonna have any money. You know what I mean? Oh, I got this
but
white.
look
They
though,
got they got the offer. You feel me?
there's people who don't move into black neighborhoods because they fear for their life, but then there's black people who don't move into white neighborhoods because they fear for their life.
But yeah,
Yeah,
The same.
there
Crazy.
is there's an uneasy awareness about some things. Some things are just unreasonable suspicion. Some things are things that are suspicious that are unsettling.
Mhm.
Uh,
but that
some of the neighborhood talk is go ahead.
as well.
What you saying, Lynn?
I said also stems from our stereotypes of each other as well.
Yeah. Some of the neighborhood things are weird because you can go like say you on York Road. You on York Road goes to what's close or whatever. One part is like regular houses or whatever, or like regular houses or whatever. You go to another part and it's like big ass mansions back there. And you don't know it's back there until you go back there.
Yeah, once you go back there, it's a whole
Like
new world.
it's big mansions and shit back there. You like, where the fuck this come from?
Yeah,
But unless you go back there, you don't see the shit.
it's crazy.
Now we go down the corner, make a right. Guess what?
And I mean that it's what I can respect about a lot of that is it's like a territorial thing, and it's kind of what we learned as like our for our people, right? Like when people say our people or when your people, what we learn is to hold each other down. So like we're in certain instances where we share a space or where we may have a space. I remember when I was in college and me and my friends, we was looking for a house and we knew some people that had a house, but where they had this house, they wouldn't have marketed to us.
Yeah, they
Like
did.
trying to come in, they wouldn't have marketed to us. So they was like, "Yo, we know the guy. Like we about to move out, but we know the guy that live here." And it's kind of like that's kind of like how you got to get it, man. You got to
Gotta get
know.
that hookup. Gotta know
It
somebody
ain't
know
about what you.
somebody.
It ain't about what you know, man.
Who
It's
do you
about
know?
who. So we was able to get that out the strength, and the guy was the guy that owned the property. He was just like he just fucked with us off the strength of who put us on. He's like, I
Yeah.
can trust these guys. He said, yeah. To be completely honest, he didn't know if he could trust us or not, but he knew that we was his people, right? He was looking out for his people. He just trusted the fact that we would just be loyal to the fact that we got his name on this one, and yeah, let's just hold it down. And we did that though, nonetheless. But that's how we gotta be. We gotta be able to hold our people down as much as possible, man. That's what we need to be taking in when Juneteenth comes around. Like those are the types of educations. Like, nah, don't be ill to nobody just because they're not your people. But understand that you gotta hold your people down. You can't have your people looking dumb out here.
Yeah. One thing that we gotta speak on is I've seen this topic on Twitter a whole lot this week. I've never been taught to hate anybody. As far as everybody I know that's L people, they've never been taught to hate anybody. But in the other people's minds, like, oh, y'all hate us, y'all this, like, no, that's your own internalized fear of what you feel transition on us. As
But
far as
but look, check this out though, Royal. You've never been taught that, right? But you've been probably like at a friend's house that probably even live on your block. They probably live, or you might have been at an aunt house, or you might have been you've been somewhere where you've heard somebody who basically they were taught they hate other people. Like you've seen those people, and you've ignored it though because you weren't taught like that. But
I've seen two people. Most people that I've seen that have been taught they've been taught to disassociate. Most people that I know that are taught that way, they're taught to disassociate with other people, not to hate them, but to not associate with them.
Yeah,
I
but
don't
I'm
know
saying, but
anything
like,
to actually hate them. Like,
and like I could just, and I'm not talking about like nowadays. Like nowadays, like I mean, you actually run into more people who are taught to hate.
yeah,
Nowadays.
Yeah.
But like,
that's a very ignorant stance, but that's very true. That's very true.
yeah. And like I would say like more so growing up, I could remember, I could just be like, I could remember like people grandmothers telling me like don't trust them white people. Like, you know what I mean? I could remember that, and it's like it go through one ear out the other, because it's like they're not all bad. You gotta. It's just like some black people. They can't trust them. So
yeah,
they it's like they not all good either. So but you got to make sure that you are reading people. That's the main goal.
That's true. That's
what
true.
you're doing. You're just reading people, because like you said, we haven't been taught to hate people. You've been taught to make sure you're aware. You want to be aware of who the hell is, like, everybody around you ain't for you.
Yeah.
Everybody around you ain't for you. So.
And when I say hate, I'm talking about actual hatred, actual racial ignorance. When I talk about like, oh,
that's what I'm talking about. That's what I'm talking about too.
When I talk about, oh, I had something happen to me, and this, we're talking about actual hatred, because we all know that we're taught to have certain I don't want to say stereotypes, I want to say cautions when it comes to certain people, not because you're afraid of them, but just because you want to be aware of your surroundings and the situations that can happen to you.
Bias. Everybody has implicit bias.
Yeah, everyone does have a bias, but most of the actual hate I'm seeing for most of the verbalized and actionable hate is coming from other people. Let's say that.
Mm-hmm.
I've never seen in my lifetime or heard of in my lifetime the hate and ignorance that's portrayed upon us, done by us to other people. I've never seen it on a large scale. There may be isolated incidents that it did happen. I can't say it doesn't happen. I'll say on a large scale. I've never seen it on a large scale other than maybe an isolated incident.
Yeah, it's case by case.
There's never any big news stories about this stuff. Like there might be, okay, there was a attack over here, but it's not like, oh, they have a big ass run, like, oh, we hate these people, hate them, like Charlotte. Yeah. Like, you don't see stuff like that.
Black people definitely don't do that.
You don't see that.
It's not a black thing.
But for other groups, when I say anyone, but other groups of people, that is a thing. Like, oh, we hate black people, we hate them, and they'll hold large rallies and show support and all this other stuff. It's like, why? What happened in your life? Why are you so poisonous and toxic that that's what you want to teach your children?
Well, it's all about white supremacy, specifically in this country, and those are the people who really dominate. From our government and our system, the way we live life. You know what I'm saying? We don't see a whole bunch of black people in Congress. You know what I'm saying? We don't see a whole bunch of black decision makers as far as businesses go. I mean, granted, it is like a population thing. You know what I'm saying? We are essentially the minority, of the population, but even regardless, you know what I'm saying? There's Asian people, there are Korean people from all overseas that are here, and essentially we're going to be the majority. We don't see people of other colors representing places of higher power.
Yeah, it's an exposure thing, man. Like you said, like, I mean, I just talked about that, like, revolving door, right? Making sure that you can look out for somebody and make sure they can come up into the next spot. And then a lot of that in politics isn't happening for our people all the way. Like, there's a lot of positions where, as it relates to black people, just aren't there because of that revolving door that's happening traditionally a lot of times. Like, I mean, our revolving door in most cases are Foot Locker, right? uh, McDonald's. I mean, I'm just being honest. It's like,
That
yo,
is all. Yeah,
I
yeah.
think,
yeah,
you know,
yeah, right, right.
same. Go ahead.
And you wanted to like elevate to like, I mean, but that's just like on a lower level though, right? That's like high school level. So that's a lot of revolving doors. I mean, not even just like colorway, but it becomes a lot of ceilings. So you got a lot
Very
of
true.
people, you know what I mean? Like at a where the ceiling is that. And then it continues to be the revolving door, and they don't want to better themselves, or it's a lack thereof
It's
that's
not that,
traumatically been instilled.
that they can't better themselves because this is the only thing that's offered to them. You know what I'm saying? And even if you want to strive for something better, you still got bills, this, that, and the third to pay for, just to get by
It's
through life.
right next to my house. I can walk there. So this is what's benefiting. And it's like, yeah, Mr. Jefferson said he had an opportunity for me, but Mr. Jefferson ain't answering the phone. I left him a voicemail. So this is what I gotta do. And then it's like they just aren't warranted with that opportunity to say, hey, um, they aren't warranted, or a lot of us per se, just we aren't warranted with that opportunity to say, hey, yo, just stay home for like 4 days, 5 days, right? Like you're not getting that grace period, nor are you getting the reciprocated hustle, in a lot of those instances. But it's a hell of a dynamic, man. It's a
Yeah.
it's a hell of a dynamic, like you said, like race wise. It's just really wild. And I think about just like the Asian race, man, how they booming, right? Like they have like so many different like programs in colleges, right? And then I see like a lot of the Asian students who even come over as exchange students, bruh, they are like fly as ever. Like they the flyest on campus. Asians are the flyest on campus, if y'all didn't know
Mhm.
that. I'm just letting y'all
Yeah,
know.
a lot of exchange students are. Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
Yeah.
I have a question for you. How do y'all feel about the POC and the Black agenda and those being intertwined in like news and in relation to race and everything? Me, I feel it's not right for it to be
Mhm.
used interchangeably like it is, because I feel okay, we don't have black issues and they don't have person of color issues, but they're not interchangeable. Like if we win something, it benefits everybody. If other person of color get something, it doesn't benefit us. They don't have their own agendas and won't support ours, but we're expected to support their agendas. Like, excuse me, like we've seen that anti-Asian hate bill got passed again. We've seen other groups like we've seen what, like it was a Mexican American, it was a Latin American bill passed in the last presidency for them. But and we support all of that. We support all of that. We're out there at rallies, we help support it. You see our faces, see everything. But when we work for something like the anti-lynching bill or something to help us, I don't see another person of color supporting us. At least not publicly, at least not in a broad sense. Like I don't see the rallies, I don't see the news, I don't see anything. What are your
Well,
thoughts?
well, like me and my little bro Marcus say, you know what I'm saying? We all we got. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's gonna have our back like we have our backs. And of course, we're not no haters,
We're
but
not haters, but we're expecting to have everybody else's back, but I don't
yeah.
see that support for us.
So I mean, put it like this, you know what I'm saying? At the end of the day, we all we got, we're gonna have to figure out. I mean, that what makes us special. You know what I'm saying? We figure things out. You know what I'm saying? Sometimes, we are expecting so much from these white supremacists and from these lawmakers. They're not going to make a change until we make a change, until we, essentially revitalize our own communities and come together. You know what I'm saying, as a union.
Yeah, it's
Not saying like it's an easy thing. Of course, everything takes time. You know what I'm saying? But you said we all have to work together and have that mentality, to do better as a whole community.
I mean, you also have to be in a place of uh I guess contention where there's good intentions, right? And when I say that, I mean like you can't be content with just like everything, but you can though. Like, and if you are, that's actually a plus. Like, 'cause you ain't got to worry about no other bullshit. Um, but as it relates to not being content, you can't be content with just seeing people fight for what's better if you trying to get things better yourself. You got to make sure that you get out there and be a part of that fight because we are all that we got. Like, you can't look for other people to support us. Whatever it is that you do for someone is what you do for someone, and you cannot expect them to do that for you.
That's very true. That's
Can't.
very, very true.
As much as you want
you
that,
would like to, yes.
As much as you want that, as much as you warrant that, you can't expect it. Like, you cannot expect it. You just can't. Like, it's just nothing that you can expect. You want that good energy reciprocated at all times because it's kind of like what you learn. But then you know, if you've ever been let down, you understand that you can't expect that shit.
You're right.
So that's how that is, man.
How do we use the power that we know we have? Because we have the Congressional Black Congress, we have other Black initiatives within the government. How do we use that power to get our agenda across when we see other groups doing it with themselves? And we know we hold power because everyone marches for our votes. Everybody needs our votes come election time. Everybody needs our Congress and Senate votes when they put the bill through. How do we use the power that we have, that we know we have, for the good of our people?
I mean,
how we get on one accord with that? I don't understand how it's supposed to work because we do have the fellowship that's supposed to be there for us. Like I said, the Congressional Black Congress, but how do we get them to rally the power they have to help us?
Make sure we got food.
We use social media. We use marketing. We use marketing. We actually sit down in these town meetings. We show our face. We gotta show face. You know what I'm saying? That's how things grow. Just like a podcast, more viewership you get, the more engagement you get, the more you grow. So we just need people to show out and make sure that voice is constantly heard.
Yeah, that marketing piece is cool, man, and it's what's needed for everybody to fall in line. I was making a joke. I said give them food, right? But it's like feed. You gotta feed them what they want. You gotta feed them what they want, man. I mean, if it's really food, make sure you get a connect on that, right? But feed them what's gonna have them full. Feed them what's gonna have them fulfilled, and have them get like that. Actually gives them hope. Like give them what they need to hear. But don't let it be no bull crap. You know what I mean? If it's the efforts that you feeding them, tell them the efforts that you're feeding them. If it's the journey, tell them the journey. You know what I mean? You gotta just make sure that we just stay connected and keep our word, because people getting sick of being let down.
Yeah, I try to stay in contact with my congressperson and my senator just to be on that ass. Like, look, what's going on? Like, I need to see progress. I need something because I'm ready to vote these motherfuckers up because I'm not seeing progress. I'm not seeing anything change. They're like, oh, we introduced this bill or that bill, this and this. I'm like, where is it? Did it die in committee? Did nobody upvote? Like, what's going on? Like, are you not rallying your fellow Congress people or senators to actually have your back on this? Like, because certain issues we need to have done. Like, it needs to be done. It's stuff that's too long and taking forever to do. I understand it's a process, it's bureaucracy, but we need to have some type of court where these people on one thing and move with the message.
Yeah, especially when technology has advanced so much. Certain things can take but so long to develop and get you know what I'm saying, right in about. You know what I'm saying?
Like, I understand the Republicans are holding up the Senate, holding up while they have the power right now to hold up bills that they don't want to pass. They're filibustering and they're doing all this stuff. We know they're trying to hold up the daggone Supreme Court nominee if they stay in the Senate. Like, we have to, like I said in the last podcast, we got to vote these people out and make sure that we're voting the people that can get the job done.
100%.
Whether it be a candidate you like or you dislike, the message is good and they can actually get something done, vote for. Don't vote against your morals, don't vote against What you think is right, but we're against somebody's going to get it, vote towards somebody's going to get it done. The person that's in there right now isn't doing it.
What's definitely Royal. All right, how many more topics we got left, Royal?
We can do 2 more. We can do the crazy COVID shit going down. We can do 1 more.
All right.
All right, we got 2 different COVID things right now. One that's, well, I guess both on tap in America. We have one that Brazil has topped 500,000 deaths due to COVID overall. And that's a pretty shame. Of course, they don't have enough ventilators, hospitals, staff, anything like that. People are being reckless. Well, not people reckless, but people don't have access to the care. People don't have access to the care, and it's not enough anything to go around. Rest in peace to the God. Hopefully, the people that are still alive down there can get the resources and help that they need and stay alive, man.
Same,
yeah.
Man. Same.
It's tough, you know, man. Some countries have been impacted harder than others. You know what I'm saying? Shout out to India, right?
Yeah, India is fucked up right now.
Yeah. So I mean, anything that we can do, we're saying as a country, you know, send things over. Hopefully that we can get that done as well. You know what I'm saying? But I mean, we're all in this world together. We're going to figure it out.
Yeah.
Does Flint got clean water yet?
No. I don't know. As far as I know, Flint ain't got no clean water. Flint water still dirty as shit, as far as I know.
Man, hey man, shit just fucked up. Prayers out to everybody.
That's everybody. We have another COVID thing where let's see, we have the Delta variant that is going crazy in the Midwest and Indiana, Missouri, Kansas, all that. Like those people are getting fucked up by that shit. I don't know if they're not getting vaccinated or whatever, but they're doing a crazy rate over there. That craziest rate in the Midwest. And this is a separate variant. This is the Delta, like I said, the Delta variant of COVID. It's going ham out there in the Midwest. So if you're in the Midwest, please stay safe. Please stay masked up. Please protect yourself because people drop like flies over there.
It's weird. It's different flavors of weed and different flavors of fucking COVID.
Yeah, like 12 different strains of COVID right now.
Man.
It's wild. It's wild. But stay safe. Stay safe, man.
Mask up, man. Wait, use the hand. Socially distance. That's our message.
Yes. Last Sunday, let's talk about the global economy real quick. Dollar is strong so far right now. Cryptos are going crazy right now. Venezuela, their currency is literal garbage. If you're paying attention on Twitter, you've seen trash cans full of the Venezuelan bolero. I think that's how you say it. Let me make sure I say this right. Hold on. It is the Venezuelan bolivars. My bad, bolivars. I may pronounce that wrong, but it's BOLIVARS. And
what's the currency exchange rate for US dollars?
The exchange rate is like, it's what? They're 250,000 bolivars to $1. Well,
damn, I'm about to go to Venezuela.
Like I said, they had big ass trash cans full of money just sitting there. Like, this money was less than toilet tissue. Like a lot of the richer folks down there, during COVID, they transfer all their money to Bitcoin or Litecoin or Ethereum to be crypto because it holds a higher value than the actual currency down there. Which is crazy because you see people trading in actual cryptos down there, like to do real transactions because they eliminate the amount of money you can get down there because the hyperinflation is wild down that bitch. Ain't no way 250,000 should be $1.
Well,
not at all.
Well, my question is like, what's the region in there? Like, what is it looking like? Like, why is it so much a scarcity of resources down there?
Well, we know it's got to do with government corruption, people doing crazy shit with the budgets, voting laws because they're getting paid off and shit like it. And of course, hyperinflation because you gotta understand like they import a lot of stuff isn't local or whatever. Like they were something like bread, like
It's
$30, $40, some shit like that. I'm like, what?
It's a tricky scenario.
And also, like, gas prices more crazy. Like, all this shit is compacted.
Well, I mean, what got
this? It's ridiculous.
Well, maybe. Well, I won't blame them if they come across this border. They need it for them. But yeah,
it's wild. It's crazy to see how crypto is being taken seriously by so many governments now because of the monetary situation.
Well, yeah, crypto is about to be the way of the world. And
a lot of governments forget, like China banned crypto. I think China banned Bitcoin or whatever. I think England put restrictions on it. America trying to put restrictions on it. South Africa put restrictions on. I think they banned Bitcoin over there. And in Nigeria,
man, the government can't. They don't want it.
It's because they can't get tax. You can't tax on it. But crypto is really the wave right now for a lot of second and third world countries. It is also for the first world countries like America, New Zealand, Australia, Europe. All
I ain't
that,
balling, but I put a little bit of money in the Dogecoin. I got a little something out of it. You know what I mean? Just to help. I was down bad, and
a little bit help. A little
boost helped me out.
When Bitcoin came out, Roy was the first person to know about it and didn't even invest in it. He could have invested $10, $15, $20.
He could have had a plane for all of us right now.
He told us about it, but he didn't invest in it at all. Fucking idiot.
But
you know, I feel like I remember you was talking about that when it came out too.
I told everybody about when it came out. I literally told everybody, I said, go invest in this, get on this.
Yeah, it's crazy.
I literally say it's
so the do-rag right now.
The crazy thing is, people like, oh, you crazy. That's that digital shit. That ain't gonna work. That's not real. Everybody say, oh, that's like the video game money. That's not real. Mind you, video game money is real money. Like, it's actual money. Like, you like, oh,
I remember that, man.
That's that digital shit. Everybody like, no, that's not gonna work. And look where it is there. Like, if you have a chance in the actual coin, not these scam coins that the ones popping out like elongate and all this other shit that's pop out every two days. Like, they had one where people just stole the money the other day. It was a shit coin. It was nothing. They just got it on the market and stole. That's literally what it was. They literally got in the market for people to buy and invest in that shit. Made millions off of it and took the shit down. Like, oh, what's going on? Fuck y'all, we got the money. Like, you want to invest in an actual coin that had a solid base. Like Doge was a meme coin, but Doge is the actual coin. Bitcoin, Litecoin, Ethereum. There's other altcoins. You can swap on Pancake Swap. That are actual currencies. They also have stable coins that are stable like the US dollar. They have other ones like that. Go look yourself. It's not financial advice. This is an option you take.
Research.
Do your own research. This is not financial advice. You have to research yourself. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm not a financial advisor. Do your own research on these things, but don't get scammed by shit coins. Don't fall for the MLM scams like the Forex networks. Everybody wants you to join. Be level 65 platinum over there. Don't fall for that. Foreign exchange is the real thing. The programs are not.
Facts.
All these programs are not real. There are some real programs, but all the programs are not real. Do the research. Don't do we got to recruit 12 people the other year when you become level platinum 62 and all this other stuff. Don't fall for that. but the foreign exchange is a real thing. You can't make money off of it. Do your own research and get into it. This is not financial advice. I'm not telling you to do anything. I'm just giving you an option. So you can't say, oh, Royal told me. No, I did not. I didn't tell you shit. I'll give you an option and tell you what's out there. You can go and research yourself and make the plays that you want to make.
Right. You're not influence any of your decisions, you make as a grown adult. You make them yourself.
And kids, do not make any decisions on your own. You're not an adult. Do not take mommy and daddy credit card, do anything. You have to ask permission.
Credit card. You know what I'm saying? I just said just take the credit card. I didn't say do anything.
Oh, you dirty. Oh my God.
Man. All right, we'll wrap it up.
We do one. Let's do sports real quick. Do one more sports thing, and we can wrap it up.
I don't want to think about sports.
You don't want to think about sports. You don't want to talk about sports.
I don't want to talk about
That's your
sports.
thing. That's your thing. Let's get this. Let's get the sports real quick, and we can wrap it up. This is a powerful thing, and this we're gonna wrap it up. We done. So NBA Finals. Let's go.
Well, we're not in NBA Finals yet.
Well, playoffs, whatever. Let's get
Finals.
this shit done.
Conference Finals. Unfortunately, the Brooklyn Nets lost last night to the Bucks in Game 7. Got 48 points, and going to overtime. He missed the last shot. It was an air ball. I mean, he played 53 minutes. He played the whole game. Unfortunately, he couldn't get the job done. He was missing James. Well, James Harden played, but that wasn't the real James Harden that we know and love.
That was a hurt James Harden.
Kyrie was out, the past 3 or 4 games. It was just a little bit too much. Giannis, well, he's still trash at the free throw line, still can't shoot a jumper, but he's still one of the greatest athletes ever. And they found a way, to get the job done. Now they're, in the conference finals, and there's no more point in watching NBA playoffs.
Oh no, I wouldn't say that.
Why not?
Man, I wouldn't say that much.
Not.
I mean, my sixes are still rolling, so I think it's appropriate that we.
I think they got the best chance to win, but man, who wants to see Embiid get the championship? Really?
Hey man, that's how I felt. That's how I felt when they gave Joker that MVP. I'm like, wait, how did they give him the MVP? He's about to get smoked out of this thing, man. What's up? It's
a regular season award, but Embiid would have got it had he stayed healthy.
Yeah, he was too sloppy. I respected it though, man. But yeah, make sure y'all tune in though, man. I mean, this game 7 that's coming up, See my boys get it in. I mean, this in and out.
Ice Tray. Oh
hey,
no!
I'm a fan of Trey. I'm a big fan of Trey. I'm even on a little text thing he started once COVID started, man. Because I'm a real fan of Trey, man. I've been following him since high school, so I'm happy he made it to the league.
Nice,
yeah, man. Him and John Wall alike. We ain't gonna talk about Wall right now, though.
One of my favorite players.
That's lame.
Yeah,
that's lame. Right there.
Well, no, John Wall or KD slander will be tolerated on this show ever.
No John Wall slander, man. We just gotta keep him out of. We just gotta keep him out of Rose Bar, yo.
Right, bro? We can slander LeBron all day, right?
all day.
Look,
I heard somebody say if LeBron would have passed the ball to Joe Harris and Joe Harris missed, it would have been LeBron's fault that they lost last night. But KD hit that shot, so they was able to go to OT. You know what I mean?
A chance. LeBron would pass it to the stands.
Yeah.
Then he's scared of the free.
Oh, good, man. But yeah, man, I'm a Sixers fan, so I'm happy to see we made it this far.
Yeah, congrats. I wasn't expecting that shit. I was not expecting that shit.
Hopefully we can get out of this, but if not,
we're gonna see.
Yeah.
But I'm still depressed. My only enjoyment with basketball is actually playing it. So
why are you depressed right now? I know you thought that's gonna go far.
No more
now, baby.
All the superstars is gone. I gotta look forward to next season.
Well, hey, you gotta wait for. You gotta wait for, bro.
Man, I don't want to wait for that shit. I want to go outside and bust niggas' ass.
well, you always got 2K to see the superstar, man. You want to play that 2K.
I got 2K and I got outside, man. That's the real basketball. Ball is like.
Say that. That's a fact.
And we're gonna get out of here. I'm pretty sure Rock got 2 baby mamas to see, because it's fun. Same for.
Nah, man. Thankfully I don't, man. No baby mamas over here, man. No baby mamas. Hey, listen, I'm taking care of baby mamas on Father's Day though. So that's what I'm doing. You know what I mean?
Yeah. We're doing the same thing.
You funny.
So you got
hey man,
right.
Yeah, man. Thank y'all for having me. Man.
What'd you say?
He just bought you that do-rag?
No. I'm mad at this, bro. You funny.
That's the Father's Day do-rag.
Oh, you funny. Yeah.
You see how he glowing today? I see.
That's wow. Happy Father's Day to the fathers, man. Y'all
Happy Father's
fathers
Day.
yet? Y'all fathers?
No, sir. Thank the Lord.
I'm a father.
That plan,
what we talked about earlier, I'm a father.
that plan B coming clutch, baby. Ain't no fatherhood over here.
They crazy, man. But thank you, Rock, for into the Simple Dawson podcast, man. Really enjoy having your insight as far as the school system and our topics today as well. I want to thank each and every one of you guys for viewing in for the YouTube viewership, our Anchor viewers, Spotify, Apple, everywhere. That's tuning into this podcast. What I'm saying? We're going to constantly keep working, giving you all this content, most definitely. And again, thank you, Rock. Any closing words from you, Rock, or want to give out your socials and where we can find you at things of that nature?
Oh yeah, man. Again, man, thank you for having me. Simply awesome. You can find my podcast on everywhere you listen to podcasts. It's called Properly Uncivilized Podcast. And I'm posting, when I got episodes on my page. You can follow me at Rocket Ship. Or just look for me on Instagram as Rock the Mic. And the podcast is at Properly Pod on Instagram, on Twitter. And that's how I'll be posting up when we got new episodes. And again, thank you for having me, man. I really appreciate this. I enjoyed it.
Can we get freestyle before we wrap out? Or I'm saying you cool? You cool?
Well, I got a little something, man. Let me see. I'm from the home of the Wire, land of the O's. Every Friday is purple with a little black and gold. Late nights I was cold. No need to embrace my struggle. Product of my environment. I embrace my hustle. Peace.
Hey, man.
Nice.
Podcast. Most definitely want to give y'all more content. Until next time, bitch, you do, reproduce all that good stuff.
Jesus.